Hello, can you hear me? Okay, Nihal, yeah, okay, thank you. Please tell others to join fast. Okay, only two of you are here. Please tell others to join fast. Okay. we will be starting Module 5 today. And I think in Module 5 we have already covered letter writing and all, the different types of letters. And you had a written assignment also on letter writing. Even for series exam you had uh, attended that question. So I'll share my screen now. Can you see the screen? Hello? Can you see the screen? Okay, okay. So as you can see, so here we deal with in module 5, we deal with formal writing. There are two ways of writing. One is formal and informal. As you had studied earlier, letter writing is also of two kinds. What are they? What are the two kinds of letters? The main two kinds of letters. What are the two kinds of letters? Anyone, you can type in the chat box. Okay, Ashwin, very good. Formal and informal. So likewise, technical writing is also formal as well as informal. So here we are focusing more on formal writings because it is useful for communication and organizations and all. So we have to deal more with formal writings in module 5. So here, well, first of all, let us look at what a technical writing is. So what is a technical writing? See, technical writing is a style of writing. There are different styles of writing. So one style of writing is the technical writing. It is used in delivering technical information. To deliver technical information, we use technical writings. The typical example of a technical writing is the technical manuals that come with your devices, the electronic devices and all. Whenever we purchase some electronic goods, we find that a manual also will accompany those electronic devices so that we will be able to understand what that device or how that device functions, or in case of some repair that happens or some unexpected error if it happens, we just look at the manual, read through the manual and find out how to solve that problem, isn't it? So usually we have manuals for most of the devices, and even in your along with your phone you have manuals. And whenever a problem arises, we look at manuals only when a problem arises. So this manual, it should be written in a technical way. That is, the technical contents should be neatly written. There should not be any ambiguous words. That is, it should mean the right thing to the reader. The reader should be able to understand what is meant in that writing. Otherwise, he will not be able to fix the error that is happening. So, technical manuals or the manuals that come with electronic devices is a typical example of technical writings. Is it clear? Is it clear? And in case of devices, since we are using mobile phones and all, we have some idea of how that function works, how that device works. So the intended audience, they should have some knowledge, certain knowledge about the subject. About the subject means if it is a microwave oven, he will read through the manual and find out how the settings should be done. And also if it is a mobile phone, how it is going to be operated, etc. will be written in a technical way. So the user should be able to understand the technical jargons. Technical jargons are those words related to that particular area. Certain words like when we come across electrical devices, there will be the measurement of current will be in in watts or horsepower, etc. So in such cases, the a person who is reading the manual should have certain knowledge about these technical terms or technical, we call it as technical jargons. Okay, technical jargons are those that are specific to certain technical areas. So, if when for writing such for technical writing, we use technical terms, and these technical terms related to a particular area is called technical jargons. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear to you? Hello, are you listening? Okay, Akash. So I can find only 46 students here. I'll be taking attendance soon. Also, I'll be taking the screenshot because as soon as I start taking attendance, some of you will be joining. So to avoid that, I'll be taking screenshots and I'll be marking attendance based on your screenshot. Okay. So now let us see. Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Okay. Okay. So, now let us see what is the difference between technical and literary style of writing. That is technical writing and the literature. That is you read storybooks and other literary works. So what is the difference between technical writing and literary style of writing? Literary style of writing. So there are certain differences. The first difference is that in technical writing, it is the process of managing technical information. It manages technical information that allows people to take action. We read through that technical information, like if something happens to your phone, you look at the manual, read through the manual and follow the steps to correct what the error you had seen. So technical writings usually they convey some information that allows people to take some action. So people, in order to do something or to correct something or to correct some mistakes or to correct some faults in the devices, we read through the technical manuals and then we do corrections. So these technical writings are mainly intended for people to read through the manual and take action. Then literary style of writing, it is a way of creating innovative works. That is, it depends on a person's creativity. So it's a way of creating innovative works such as poems, novels, etc. So it is just a creative writing style. Literary style means it is a creative writing method. Technical writing means it conveys technical information that allows people to take some action. So that is the first difference. Now, the second difference, technical writing, it is written to inform or instruct the readers about certain matter. That is, whenever you have a device or whenever you read through the technical writing, it gives you some instructions on certain matters. Whereas literary style of writing, it is written to entertain or amuse readers. That is, people read storybooks for entertainment, not to perform some action. Okay, so it is written to entertain or amuse the readers. A literary style of writing is written, it's done to entertain readers, whereas technical writing is done to instruct the readers. Okay, then in technical writing, language used is direct, factual, and straightforward. That is, you cannot use fancy words or anything there. You have to uh, write the content in a direct manner so that users can understand it. Hello. So And whereas in literary writing, language used is creative. As we said earlier, it is a form of creative writing, and the language can be imaginative and uses literary and it uses literary techniques like personification. Like you can compare a person to something else, a living or a non-living thing. Uh, Similes, metaphors, etc. These are certain comparative structures used in literary writings, and they may not be real. We are just comparing people to some other things or some other to nature, etc. So it is a form of creative writing, where imagination plays the main role, whereas in technical writing, it should be direct communication. That is, it should use words directly which the users can understand. In technical writing, as you can see when you read through the poems and all, it reveals us the imaginative power of the poet. Okay. In technical writing, it appeals to the mind. That is, once we find out the solution to a particular problem, it gives us a satisfaction to the mind. And literary writing, it appeals to emotions. That is, we feel sad, we feel happy, etc. after reading literary writings. Then, the structure of the writing. And in technical writing, when you look at the structure of the writing, it includes the technical vocabulary, then simple sentences and impersonal objective tone. That is, there is no feelings in what is being written. So they are just dealing with the some instructions or some methods to solve a problem. Whereas here it includes complex sentence structures and linguistic aspects like dialects, ambiguity. So when a poet writes a poem, and if 10 people are reading that poem, the 10 people may read it in 10 different ways, because we don't know what exactly the poet is imagining. So there is ambiguity in such writings, whereas in technical writing it will be simple and clear to the audience, to the readers. Then last is the audience. Who are going to be the audience of these reading styles? So this technical writing, it is written for those who are knowledgeable in a particular subject area. So we read a book on working of a computer. So only if we can understand what it is, or if we are interested in reading, or if we want to know more or gather knowledge about it, we go for such technical readings. Whereas it is written for general readers. There is no categorization between among the readers in literary style of writing. Then, when coming to technical writing, it is formal and impersonal in tone and voice. I think it is impersonal, was said earlier. That is, there is no human emotions here. Then in literary style, it is informal and it is personal. Like it directly affects our emotions. Then last is it presents ideas with conciseness and brevity. That is very briefly and concisely explained. There is no need for too much of lengthy explanations. We just need to solve a problem, and to solve a problem, the best way is to solve it using a step-by-step procedure. So when we convert it into step, the theory will be minimum, and we can follow, or people will be able to take action easily. So it is prosaic and verbose. That is, it is only a form of it is only a verbal form. You cannot take it into action. So these are the differences between a literary style of writing and technical style of writing. Is it clear? Is it clear to you? Again, still 11 of you are absent. 11 students are absent in this list. So is it clear to you? Did you understand the difference between technical writing and literary style of writing? Hello? Okay. Okay. Now let's move on to the next part, that is letter writing. and I think we have covered it already in module 1. I think I have given one PPT also. So letter writing, we have different types of letters, formal letters and informal letters. So you just read through these points because these points were said earlier also. Okay. That is informal letters. It is written in a professional language. It is everything is it has a prescribed format and a purpose, formal purpose. Like all business letters are formal letters. Now it will avoid unnecessary words and it should be written politely. Should be in a polite manner. And even if it is a complaint letter, this formal letter should be in a polite manner, and it should be free from grammatical or spelling mistakes. So whenever you are going to write a formal letter, it will be either to between organizations or to your higher authority, etc. So please make sure that you do not make any grammatical mistakes or spelling mistakes. Okay, so formal letters should be very correctly written. The next is informal letters. You can make mistakes because you might be writing informal letters to your friends or relatives or family members, etc. So it is written to someone whom you know very well. So it is used for reasons like conveying a message, for asking questions, for asking advice, etc. So no specific format is needed, but still we have an outline of this format or the general format for writing the letters. And semi-formal letters are sent to people whom you do not. This is another form which stands between formal and informal letters. That is semi-formal letters. Now it is sent to people whom you do not know very well or situations that require sensitive approaches. Most commonly, we come across formal and informal letters, and in rare cases, we come across semi-formal letters also. And this is sent to people whom you don't know very well, or in certain situations, we require some sensitive approach, like the letters sent by parents to teachers. Now, uh, it cannot be a formal letter, no, I mean, neither it can be an informal letter, but it is sent by a parent to a teacher, and there is just a relationship that the kids are their students. That's all. So letters sent by parents to teachers is a form of semi-formal letter, and it is written in more polite than informal letters. Now, when compared to informal letters, it is more polite. Then the main features are in salutation. Salutation is when you start the letter, you can write with dear, the last name of the person whom you are going to address. Like and or you can use Miss for unmarried girls, and MS for the marital status. If you don't know the whether married or not, then you can use MS, etc. These are the salutations that you should use when addressing the person. Then you should write as in now other letters. In the case of other letters, you have to write the address and the date placed on top right of the page. So the address and date will be placed on top right of the page in date, a day, month, and year. That is 2 digits for day, then month, and then year. 4 digits for year, comma. Then the body is divided again into 3 paragraphs, that is introduction, the main body, and the conclusion. So in the question which I had given you for series exam was a complaint letter regarding inadequate supply of water. Isn't it? Do you remember the question? So in that case, it is something which requires immediate action from the authorities. So what you should do is you should write all the problems that you are facing regarding this inadequate water supply, and to write all these problems, you cannot congest it into a single paragraph. So you should first analyze what problem or what complaint you are going to write, and based on the complaint, we know that in formal letters can be written in a single paragraph also, but the question you should understand first, or the situation you should try to understand first, and then decide whether you should write it in a single paragraph or whether you should use 3 paragraphs, like introduction, body, and conclusion. So, if it is a major problem, or if you want to address the situation, the pathetic situation of the area, then you have to address all the problems faced by the people there. So in such a case, your letter will be too lengthy, and in that case, you can divide that letter into two or three paragraphs. So I found that many had written it in a single paragraph and in a very few sentences only. But this is a big problem which I notice is in an inevitable for every use in our daily life. So you have to address the problem that seriously, and to address that, uh, you have to write all the problems that you are facing. So it was a letter which should address all your problems, and it should not be written in a single paragraph. You could have written it in two or three paragraphs, and many had written correctly. So anyway, when you write letters, you should just think of the matter, the depth of the matter, and write the letters. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear to you? Am I audible to you? Okay, okay. So now here in semi-formal also we can divide it into three paragraphs. Then the style used, that is the main feature that separates a formal and a semi-formal letter. Semi-formal is moreover like a formal letter, but the difference lies in the style. That is semi-formal. In semi-formal, language used is similar to ordinary speech. So, whereas we cannot use such things in formal letter. In semi-formal, language can be similar to ordinary speech. So like a parent, when she writes a letter to the teacher, she can write it in a very informal way, in a similar, in an ordinary, as if she is speaking to the teacher. Then exclamation marks can be used in semi-formal letters. One difference. Then, conclusion and ending, it should suggest the actions that follow. Always you should study a few sentences, and in the concluding section, you should write a few sentences that begins in beautiful sentences. So, whenever you conclude a letter, try to study certain sentences which would end up in which would uh, um, end in such a way that the reader will be able to take action based on your complaint. So, like it can end with, if it is an informal or semi-formal letter, you can end with "See you soon" or "Looking forward for your call," just like a informal letter. Then, complimentary closure. That is, after your concluding paragraph, you will write yours faithfully or yours sincerely. Then you should write it in semi-formal. You can use yours sincerely followed by signature. And I have found that in most of the letters you had written for the series exam, I will see the signature there. Even you haven't written your name, and somebody had written there. Some not only I think two or three of you had written. Instead of writing your name, you had written name itself there. So I had mentioned in the question that you are the you have to write a letter, so you have to write your name, not just simply a general format. Okay. So that is about the different kinds of letters. Now let us come to another form of technical writing is the application letters. A letter of job application. Okay, what are the things that you should keep in mind when you're writing job application letter? Okay, is it clear to you? Am I audible to you? Hello. Now say your attendance. Okay, Ashwin. Okay. Say your attendance.
1,
Okay.
2,
Next.
3,
4,
Number four.
4,
Okay.
5,
Okay.
6,
Five present. Six.
7,
8,
9,
10,
7,
12,
13,
15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15,
Number 16 absent. 17.
18.
19.
20.
21.
22.
23. Okay.
24.
Okay. 23 present. 24 present. Next. 25. Number 25 absent. 26. Number 26 absent.
7.
Hello. 27 present. Okay. 28. Number 28. 29.
29.
Okay. Number 30. Okay.
31. 31.
32.
Okay. Okay.
33.
Okay.
34.
Okay. 35.
35.
Okay.
36.
Next.
37.
38.
39.
40.
41. Number 41 absent.
42.
Okay. Okay. 43
44.
present. 44. Okay.
44.
45.
Okay. 44 present. 45 present.
45. 46. 47.
48.
46 absent. 47.
47.
Okay. 47. Next.
48.
Okay. 49. 49 absent. 50 present. Next.
51.
Okay.
52.
Okay.
53.
Okay.
54.
Okay.
55.
Okay.
56.
Okay.
57.
Okay.
58.
Okay. 59. 59 absent. 60 absent.
61.
60 Vignation present. Okay. Then 61.
61.
Okay. 62.
62.
63.
63. Okay. Number 61, 62, and 63, you were absent last Saturday, isn't it? What happened to you? Huh? Did you inform your advisor? And you will be missing 2 hours of attendance there. Okay. So absent is number 4, 16, 25, 26.
Ma'am, 4 present. പറഞ്ഞിനി.
ഏതാ? 4.
4. ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ
Number
പറഞ്ഞു.
4. Okay. I didn't hear you. Okay. So 16 absent, then 25, 26 absent, then 28 absent, then 41 absent, 46 absent.
Ma'am, 41%.
Okay, 41. present, then 46 absent,
46 present.
49 absent, 40,
46 present.
46, okay. Okay, 46 present, 49 absent, 59 absent. Okay, that's all. So now let's come back to the
59%.
59. Harshan. No, before your thing you didn't say your attendance. So now let us come back to the section. Now job application letters, okay. Can you see the screen? Okay, see, a letter of job application. It is a document which is sent along with your resume. Whenever you want to apply for a particular job, you send your resume. But along with your resume, you will have to send an application letter also. And that letter is called as job application letter when you are applying for a job. And this provides additional information about your skills and experiences. So you attach an application letter to indicate what all skills or experiences you have in addition. So it provides detailed information regarding your qualification for the job. So whether you it is a summary of all the qualifications that you have gained so far when you are applying for a particular job, and it explains the reason for your interest in specific organization. So there are certain points to be included in job application letter, like you have to include detailed information regarding your qualification for the job. Then you should explain the reason for your interest in that particular organization. Then it identifies your most relevant skills or most relevant experiences if you're applying for a particular job, and related to that particular job, if you have any experiences, that should be mentioned in the job application letter. Okay, and whenever you're writing a letter, it should let the employer know about the position you are applying for. So in that letter, you have to specify for which position in that organization you are applying for. Also, your strengths and selection in the interview. Your strengths for selecting you for an interview in that organization. So now, the following points should be included in a job application letter. What are the points that you should include in a job application letter? So, first of all, there should be an introduction which should include why the application is written. Okay, so first part, in the first introduction part, you have to explain why you're writing this letter. Maybe you might be applying, you had seen some advertisements or for a particular job position, and so you are trying to explain that you are writing this particular letter for such a position in that organization. Then the body which discusses the relevant qualifications. So once you have identified, once you find that there is some position, vacant position in that organization, you have to specify your qualifications for that particular position. So that should be explained in the body of the letter. And the third part is the closing paragraph. There you thank the reader and it should provide contact information and follow-up details. So you should give your details only then if they are interested, the organization is interested, they will be able to contact you. So these are the three paragraphs that should be included in a job application letter. That is, there should be an introduction which explains why you are writing this application letter, and then a body part which discusses the relevant qualifications for this position, and then there is a closing paragraph where you should thank the reader and as well as you should provide information and follow-up details. Okay. So how many parts are there in a job application letter? Anyone? You can type in chat box. Hello. Okay, Niharika, introduction. And what are you going to specify in the introduction section? What will you address in this section? Why you are writing this application letter? That will be mentioned in the introduction section. Okay. Then next section. Yeah, very good. Why the application is written. Then next section. Body. Okay. In the body section, what will you write? Just like when we write a letter, formal or informal, we have the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Likewise, here also we have 3 paragraphs: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Introduction part, you will write why you are writing this letter. Then in the body part, you will specify the qualification for that particular job application, the post that is vacant there. And then the last section is the last section. Introduction, body, and the third part is after body section, next is conclusion. Okay, closing or the conclusion section. And in that, what should you provide? You should thank the reader because you are applying for a job. The person is patiently reading your letter, so you should thank the reader for going through your letter, and also you should provide contact information if they are interested in calling you for an interview. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear to you? No? Okay. Okay, others. Then next is minutes preparation. Usually students don't come across this, but if you are attending certain meetings as a representative of a department or an organization, then we have to write down the main points discussed in that meeting, and that is called the meeting minutes or the minutes of meeting MOM. And it is a written record of everything that has happened during a meeting. So whatever that was discussed in the meeting, it will be written down, and it will be noted down, and whatever is written down, that particular record is called the minutes of the meeting. And we write down the minutes. The purpose of this minutes is to inform people who couldn't attend the meeting regarding what had happened in that meeting. So we write down the minutes and pass it to others, to the concerned people, whoever should know about these points discussed, we pass it to those people. And so minutes are written down to inform people about what has been discussed in the meeting. Okay, so, and this, it is a record for future reference also. Is it clear? Is it clear to you? Hello? So what do you mean by minutes of a meeting? So minutes of meeting, or in short we call it as MOM. It is a written record of everything that has happened during a meeting. So you write down all the main points discussed during a meeting, and that record to whatever points you've written down, that is called the minutes of the meeting. Then we write it down. What is the purpose of writing down these minutes? What is the purpose of writing down the minutes? What is the purpose? I have stated it in the second paragraph. That is, they are used to inform people about what had been discussed in the meeting, and you are informing those people who couldn't attend the meeting. And then it is also a record for taking decisions in future. Okay. Is it clear? Is it clear to you? Any doubts? Any doubts? So in the next class, we will discuss about the do's and don'ts of meeting minutes, okay? What should be done during, what should be written down, what should not be done, etc. And then we come to CV preparation then in the next class. Is it clear? Hello? Any doubts? You can ask now. Okay. Okay, Adarsh. So, thank you. You can leave. We'll discuss the other sections in the next class.